Ready? All right, this is gonna go through a pressing motion. It's gonna start static. It's gonna progress to stepping on the opposite side. It's gonna progress to stepping on the same side. I can do this with a post or without a post. I do need a band attached to something. So closing a band in the door, doesn't matter if it's here, if it's up high, the band just has to be anchored behind me. So I take my band, and if the band is in my right hand, for the static initial movement, if the band's in my right hand, I'm gonna start off with that leg back. I'm gonna get a fair amount of space between my feet. I wanna make sure that my front knee bends a little, my back heel can be off the ground, but the important part here is that I wanna make sure I keep some tension in my stomach. So I don't wanna get so far apart that my back goes into this sway position. So I wanna make sure I'm able to pull my butt a little bit underneath me so my lower back is relatively flat. I use this post as a little bit of an anchor. Pressing down into it also helps me tense my stomach a little bit. So initially here, as I press, this post is gonna come back. So these move in opposition of each other, just like if I was walking my natural arm swing. I try to make sure with each one I really reach my arm all the way. I think more about the reaching as opposed to the coming back. So as I come back, I'm not really trying to like force my shoulder back here. You see my shoulder starts to poke forward if I go too far. So I want my shoulder to stay down, reaching, and then coming back, more so like around my trunk, maybe just beyond, but I'm really focused on my shoulder not poking forward. So this would be the first step of just a static press in somewhat of a gait-related manner of my arms opposing each other. Now the next step, phase 2, would be an actual stepping motion, right? So I'm gonna move my right hand with my left foot. If my right hand starts back, my left foot is gonna start back. And it's the same concept, but they're gonna move together. So I'm gonna press down into this post, engage my stomach a little bit. My right hand and my left foot are gonna advance together, and they're gonna come back together. You'll see I try to move them in the same speed, so there's no dissociation between the two. As my hand comes back, this post is coming forward. Trying to stay up nice and tall, in a slow, controlled manner, coming through. Okay, now this gives me a support on my left and a support on my right foot, right? So I have a support on each side, which allows me to maintain pretty good balance and stability. A harder version would be to move the same side. So just like how my right hand and left leg move together, my right hand could move opposite of my right leg. So if I start off with this back, I'm going to start off once again with my left leg back. But now instead of moving my left leg, I'm going to move my right in opposition. So my right foot will come back as my right hand reaches forward. And then they will go opposite of each other. So this is a little harder because now I don't have any support on this right side. So it's a little bit more difficult. It still follows my typical gait pattern. It's just a little different way to do it. I just want to make sure with this one, as I do it, because now I don't have any support here, I may want to lean towards this side. So I just want to make sure I stay straight. And then all of this could be done without the post. All right, so just quickly going through, I could do my press, and you see this gives me a little bit more freedom then to move my free arm. If I'm doing the stepping, I start with this back. I start with my left foot back. And then same side, I still start with this back, so this is back, and now it's just going to be a back step. And I may want to get a little further away for that one. So 3 options to work on.